Tonight, a tourism campaign returns to encourage visitors to New South Wales, and bright and fashionable punters flock to the Port Lincoln Cup.
From our Seven Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamane begins now.
Good evening. Broken Hill and Silverton will once again be showcased across the country, with Council rolling out the next phase of its tourism campaign. The announcement comes as new figures reveal the impact COVID-19 had on the industry.
Every place has its story.
And Broken Hills will once again be shared. Council pushing forward with the next phase of the It's Out There campaign.
They've been freshened up, but they still have that focus around experiences, looking at the natural environment, the arts and culture and heritage of the region.
Council partnering with Destination New South Wales, spending $100,000 to promote Broken Hill and Silverton. We're told that investment is worth it, generating organic promotion money can't buy.
We've seen significant number of journalists out here writing for big magazines, like travel magazines and city newspapers.
This latest promotional push comes as new figures lay bare the impact COVID-19 had on outback tourism. In the 12 months leading to September, the number of visitors to Outback New South Wales dropped by almost 40%, but those people stayed longer, 5 nights on average. Total spending also dropped. However, many businesses say since the regional travel ban lifted, they've never been busier.
I've probably in my little gallery sold as much in that 6 months as I would have in a 12-month period.
Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Pirie's unemployment rate has dropped by more than 4% in the last year, according to new figures. Business owners say they're not surprised by the positive trend, with many new projects underway across town.
It may be a challenging year for the region, but employment is on an upwards trend in Port Pirie.
The national statistics now that have just come out and showing that our region, Port Pirie, has actually dropped by 4.2% in the last 12 months with regards to the unemployment rate.
Small area labour markets releasing the new statistics. It comes as no surprise to Business Port Pirie's president Mark Hanlon, who says there's lots of buzz around town.
I'm not at all surprised. Pirie's a very resilient town, and not just Pirie, the surrounding area. So we've bounced back really well after COVID. A magnificent bit of evidence that shows the business confidence and also the fact that we're going in the right direction.
The next 12 months is looking promising, with many projects planned for the region.
There's a fair bit going on. We've got the Silver to Seaways project. I think that's something like $10 million. Then we've got a lot going up in the Southern Flinders Ranges and the foothills there.
Regional Development Australia York Mid-North says it's doing its part by offering a jobs board program.
The vacancies that are currently in the labour market and displaying them for people so that employers can get a better choice and actually have people so they can see what's available in the local labour market.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A 33-year-old man has lost his licence following a crash in Port Pirie West last night. Just after 7:30, patrols were called to an incident on Federation Road where a car had collided with a fence. The driver allegedly returned a blood alcohol reading of 0.169, more than 3 times the legal limit. He will appear in court at a later date. Hundreds of punters packed Port Lincoln's racecourse for the annual Cup. The scaled-back event, one of the first to get the go-ahead since the pandemic crippled the racing industry.
It's the biggest day on Port Lincoln's racing calendar, and it didn't disappoint.
It's perfect. It's absolutely glorious day here in Port Lincoln.
It's absolutely a fabulous day at Port Lincoln races, and a great day for the area.
Punters hitting the bookies early, hoping luck would swing their way. More than 1,500 indulging in a day of wining and dining, fashion and racing.
Well, I'm hoping for more success later in the day. Not a great deal yet.
I just pick a number which one I like,
I have lots of a lot.
Yeah, I'm having a great day. I've backed the first 3 winners and up by a fair bit.
The stakes just as high off the track, with Port Lincoln's best dress frocking up for the fashions on the field.
My dress is by Tallulah La Maison, bags Gucci, shoes Joe Mercer, and headpiece is Ford Millinery.
Fascinators a must among the ladies.
Absolutely fabulous. You couldn't get better at the Melbourne Cup.
COVID restrictions were in place with organisers keeping a close eye on punters, guests checking in through QR codes.
2020 was a very difficult year for a lot of people, and it's good to get some normality back.
It's very different from last year, but it's still lots of fun.
But of course, race day isn't just about the action on the track. The party is set to gallop on well into the night.
We're visiting from Sydney, so that's how far we've come to come and watch the races.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, a safety reminder to motorists this coming long weekend. And progress continues on upgrades at the new Whyalla School. Welcome back. Regional drivers are being warned to take extra care on our highways and roads this long weekend, with traffic expected to increase. The RAA also cautioning drivers to be alert for animals, as new data reveals a recent increase in kangaroo collisions.
Be safe on our roads. It's a simple message that can save a life.
All drivers, wherever you're going, please ensure you drive to the conditions. Look out for any reduced speed limits.
As thousands of holidaymakers take to regional roads this long weekend, the RAA's senior manager says it's not only vehicles drivers need to be looking out for.
This period of the year is notable for more collisions occurring between vehicles and animals out on the road. So again, be mindful of the fact, particularly if you're driving in some of the regional areas.
The new RAA study revealing autumn to be the worst season for animal collisions, with crashes surging by 37% compared to summer. The organisation warning motorists to remain vigilant.
Be mindful of swerving to avoid the animal if it does run in front of you, because it can put your vehicle into the path of oncoming traffic, but also if you suddenly swerve, you can lose control.
The study reveals over the past 3 years, kangaroos accounted for 85% of vehicle collisions, dogs making up nearly 6%, and emus causing 3% of crashes.
There are signs around on many of the corridors to warn of the likelihood of animals.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The regional town of Hawker will soon receive a facelift as part of a streetscape master plan. The Flinders Ranges Council Mayor says he hopes the investment will attract visitors to the town to see what it has to offer.
Transforming the entrance to Hawker.
Unfortunately, the road goes straight past virtually, so we're going to change that. We're going to turn it into a funnel to funnel people into our community.
It's stage 1 of the 10-year Streetscapes master plan, aiming to improve the aesthetic and appeal of the town. Securing $265,000 in funding from the Community Benefit Program. The Mayor says it's all part of a wider project, drawing visitors to the town and showcasing what it has to offer.
Make it more attractive. Of course, we'll need our signage to come down here. And there's another $10,000 worth of trees and shrubs to go in here as well.
Connected by a footpath, visitors will be led into the town through a new entranceway and can stop off at the local cafe or park up behind the War Memorial. And there's even a new $44,000 dog park for Man's Best Friend to have a play.
They can come here, let their dogs have a run and themselves walk down into the town.
The member for Giles backing the projects, saying both visitors and locals will benefit.
When you improve the attractiveness of a town, it helps with tourism. Also, it's good for the people that live there.
Katrina Musson at 7 Spencer Golf News.
Whyalla's secondary college is taking shape, with new walls and windows now up. The site's project manager says the school has come a long way over the past few months and is on track for its 2022 opening.
Walking through a different looking structure, paint now going up on these future classroom walls, while workers finally install the bridges connecting the two buildings together.
Now coming towards the completion of our heavy structure stage, so the gym's just going up behind us. That will be finished by the weekend, and then the last bit of heavy structure we've got following that is the courtyard roof structure.
The project coming a long way, now moving into its fit-out stage.
So we've got ceilings going in, walls and ceilings being painted, our vinyl guys are here to start floor coverings and joinery starts coming in this month.
Principal Trisha Richmond says she can now visualise the teaching setup in all of the classrooms.
Every time I come and visit the site, I get a little bit more excited and I can actually see the school forming and the classrooms developing, so it's so exciting.
Also saying her team has been busy working on the upcoming school curriculum and which classroom each student will be assigned to.
The team that are working with me are working really hard at putting policies and curriculum plans in place.
With the finish line now in sight, locals say it has been exciting to watch the structure progress.
Looking back at photos from August, and we were just starting footings for the 2 3-storey buildings, so we've come a long way in the last 6 months.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. A support service prepares to showcase Sydney's Mardi Gras, and an Olympic hopeful takes a trip to Port Lincoln. Hello again. Headspace Port Augusta is gearing up for this year's Mardi Gras event held in the city tomorrow night. Featuring a live screening of the Sydney Parade, organisers say it's an event for the whole community to enjoy.
Bringing one of the largest festivals in the world to the big screen.
It's the Mardi Gras, it's the Gay Mardi Gras, so it's a fantastic event in Sydney, and I think it's really great that we're able to put it on the big screen.
Organisers counting down the hours until the 43rd Sydney Mardi Gras is live streamed at Cinema Augusta. The spectacle providing a sparkling showcase of LGBTQI+ culture, community and pride through a parade of colourful floats and vibrant costumes.
This event is really, really important for us to get back on track and raise the awareness of the support networks that are out there for young people in the rainbow community.
Having held a small-scale screening of the event last year, Headspace was invited to take advantage of the biggest TV in the city.
Michelle got on the phone to me from Cinema Augusta and said, you need to do it at the cinema this year, so here we are.
Helping to celebrate diversity, the Rainbow event has been described as one for the whole community to enjoy.
We'll have a free barbecue out the front. We've got some great giveaways. We've got some prizes for best rainbow dressed and best rainbow hat.
Residents are encouraged to head on down and get behind the celebration.
And come in and just enjoy yourself. It's open to the whole community. It's a really good idea for the whole community to get here for a free event.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Pirie residents with Parkinson's disease will receive much needed relief, with a significant specialist set to move to the town's clinic. Those living with the condition were previously forced to make a long journey for help.
A welcome sigh of relief for the Parkinson's support group who have rallied for a specialist to be at their doorstep.
It's very traumatic, stressful. Some of them are very frail, walking frames and one in a wheelchair. So you can imagine a trip to Adelaide and back on a day, 40-degree days for instance, it's pretty stressful.
This group leader creating a support network for those suffering with family and friends close to his heart affected by the disease.
First of all, for people that just sit home normally not knowing that other people have got similar type disease, and just gets them out and support each other, yeah.
Approaching the member for Frome, Jeff Brock, to help gain a neurologist, Dr. John Cunningham, as a visiting specialist.
First one will be on the 16th and then the 23rd of March.
Supportive of the group, he says the addition will benefit the wider community.
It's not only the Parkinson's people, the Parkinson's support group, but it's others out there that need to have a neurologist. So there's Dr. John Cunningham. He'll be very, very busy in my opinion.
Those living with the disease are being encouraged to attend a support session.
To have people come along with Parkinson's so they can all support each other. Different ideas, they have different methods of treating each other.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Olympic hopeful Claire Arthur has dropped into Port Lincoln's gymnastic club to meet with aspiring athletes. The gymnast sharing her Olympic stories and challenges she's had to face over her career. The 24-year-old narrowly missed out on her dream in 2016, giving her the drive to push even harder for Tokyo.
Believe in yourself. Like, if you dream big, set a goal and go after it.
She really concentrated on goal setting, which was it's quite handy for us when we've got competitions coming up and stuff like that where we need goals.
The visit is part of the Olympics Unleashed program, helping connect athletes with students across the state. Love Our Community has launched its food and family project, helping looking after vulnerable community members in Broken Hill. The social enterprise store asking for local donations to be passed on to those doing it tough.
Food items, sanitary items, toiletries, household items for people in need, so that they can be referred through services or they come into our shop.
Organisers say they expect demand for services to increase as government assistance measures wind down. Stay with us after the break. Our cricket experts will join us with their tips for the weekend, and we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. It's that time of the week again. Here's our cricket experts with their tips for the weekend.
Welcome to this week's Port Lincoln Cricket Tips. Last minor round game, and there's plenty of spots up for grabs in the top 4. First game is match of the round out here at Centenary Oval. Tasman's and Southern Air South. Tasman's sitting in third at the moment, Southern Air in top. A win will see the spots reversed and Tasman's take home a double chance. Gonna tip a real tight game here, and can't go past the Tassie boys to get over the line. Really good game of cricket. Next game is Waybacks and Todd River. Gonna tip Waybacks to get over the line. And in the final game, Charlton and Lincoln South. Charlton should be too strong and get the job done. Thanks for listening to Port Lincoln Cricket Tips.
Welcome to this week's round of cricket tips for Port Augusta. This week the finals commence. Our first game is the first semi-final between top side Central Stirling and second side Corn. Central Stirling have done nothing wrong all year. Corn in the past have been, probably one of the best teams, but this week I'm going to lean towards Central Stirling beating Corn. The other match is the elimination final between South Augusta and West. West haven't won a game all year, and I don't think they'll win this week. So I think South Augusta will move on to next week. So my two winners are going to be Central Stirling and South Augusta.
Grand final weekend in Broken Hill cricket this weekend. 3 great games set down in the A-grade game. North take on Centrals. And I suspect there may be a slight upset here. I think Central have made their run at the right end of the season. In the women's, been very competitive games this season, and this will be no exception. West here to probably take out their second premiership. And in the B-grade game, West take on Warriors. I'm selecting Warriors in this game.
Hello and welcome to finals action in the Whyalla Cricket Association. On Saturday morning, we see the B-grade grand final between South Whyalla and Central Whyalla. I think it's going to be a tight tussle with Centrals having been on top all year, but I think Souths are going to be too strong off their strong performance last week. In the A-grade prelim final in the afternoon sees North Whyalla take on Rupina. North have been dominant in their games against Roos so far this year. I think it's going to be a different sort of tussle this week, but I still think North are going to get the chocolates.
Hello and welcome to prelim final week of Port Pirie Cricket. Well, last week's qualifying final was a beauty with Southport winning through on the last ball, booking their place in next week's grand final. Wandeera come back this week to take on Props here at Memorial Oval from 10:30. Both sides have strong lineups and a lot of experience, so this game should be a ripper. I'm tipping Wandeera in another close one.
Now let's take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Alex.
Thanks, Ruby. Mainly fine day across our gorgeous region today, and those conditions are looking to continue right through the weekend, but I'll have more on that a little later. From 3 p.m. today, Port Augusta was sunny and got to a high of 32 degrees. Woodner reached 31, Cleve was 25. Whyalla sunny and also reached 25 degrees. Port Lincoln partly cloudy, topped 22. Broken Hill 27. Port Pirie was a top of 29. Kadina 25. Clare sunny and 28 degrees. Similar conditions in Cooper Pedy and reached 33 there. Port Pirie 29 and Adelaide was mostly sunny and got to a high of 23 degrees. Patchy cloud over western parts of South Australia with a weakening trough is not producing any rain. Low cloud in far southeast in onshore winds is barely causing any showers, mostly clear and dry in the northeast with a strengthening ridge. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters, and there are no warnings currently in place for South Australia or the Gulf. Winds tending southeasterly 10 to 15 knots, seas 1 to 2 metres and south to southwesterly swell below 1 metre. A look at Saturday's temperatures now, and partly cloudy across the Gulf. Port Lincoln set to reach a high of 24, 27 set to be the top for Cleve, and Woodner 32. Whyalla and Kadina both partly cloudy and a high of 29. Port Augusta set to reach a high of 33 degrees. Port Pirie to reach 31 and a top of 29 in both Clare and Broken Hill. And And on Sunday, partly cloudy conditions across the Gulf again with slightly warmer temperatures. Set to be a top of 31 in both Broken Hill and Port Pirie. Cooper Pedy will have the region's top of 35, 30 in both Kadina and Whyalla, and slightly cooler in the south, Port Lincoln 24, Adelaide 29. Looking further through the week now, cloudy across the Gulf on Monday, except for windy in Port Augusta, a top of 31 there. Cloudy and also 31 in Port Pirie, 34 the top for Cooper Pedy, 27 in Whyalla and Adelaide, and a max of 23 in Port Lincoln. And on Tuesday, mainly fine conditions, Whyalla windy and 26, Port Pirie set to reach 30, 31 in Broken Hill, 33 set to be the top in Cooper Pedy. Kadina will be partly cloudy and forecast to top 27 degrees. And if you're heading to Adelaide, a cloudy maximum of 25 degrees there. So Ruby, it looks set to be a mainly fine weekend with those conditions to continue throughout the beginning of next week. Happy Friday from me, and I hope everyone has a lovely weekend. That's all the weather from me. It's back to you.
Great, thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Friday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening and have a lovely weekend. Good night.